Am I on?
Yeah, the mic is live.
Okay, you can hear me now? Okay, great. Yeah, I'm sipping from my Millie cup. Where's that picture of Millie that I like so well on here? Oh, there it is. That's my dog. She's not here right now, actually. All right, well, that's a rather inauspicious debut for our Sports Game Antiquities stream, but nonetheless, we are live. Welcome. Glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with us as we unearth a couple of sports game antiquities. The ABPA saddle racing game, which I showed you, and then we also have Win, Place, and Show from 3M Games. We're going to take a look at both of those tonight. Keith Avalon from Play Games. Sam's producing tonight's show, as usual. We actually streamed the ABPA saddle racing game as the very first installment of our Sports Game Antiquities series, which was over 3 years ago. It's hard to believe that. I mean, I was astounded that it was in September of 2021 that we did that stream. And somehow it got accidentally deleted, or probably more likely, it didn't get saved to YouTube after we finished streaming. We didn't push the save button or something. Anyway, it didn't get archived on our site. And I always felt bad about that because we had a tremendous audience, tremendous group of people watching, and it was a lot of fun. And it's a game that everybody seems to talk about. It's sort of legendary in the sports game hobby. For a number of reasons, the topic of saddle racing, the company ABPA, of course, which is one of the mainstays, and also the fact that it's routinely goes for quite substantial prices when you see them available on eBay. In the neighborhood of $250, $300, $400, even more in cases of games that are well preserved. So. It was really a great stream, and it was sad that we lost it. So we decided, what the heck, we'll do an encore, bring it back, and kind of redo it. And as long as we're doing horse racing games, let's go ahead and talk about Win, Place, and Show as well. So it's kind of a horse racing themed show this evening. And again, we are glad that you took some time to join us for it. First, a couple of news items before we get into the games. I typically like to put these at the end of the stream, but probably better to put it at the beginning of the stream. In any case, we released the new 2024 Pro Season for History Maker Golf, first part of this week. Many thanks to Getting Ames for putting together the ratings for that. We have a new card design, which I'm super excited about. It looks very 2025. So that set went live on Monday, and just today we went live with the Basketball League of America update, the 2024-25 season. Had hoped to have that available. The plan was to have that available last fall, but for one reason or another, it just never got finished. So put the pedal to the metal and got it done this week, and had laid the groundwork for it. I think it was back around Thanksgiving. Had started working on it, but just never completed it. So I brought it home, and it is now available. Some great rookie class. Once again, it's available in both the black and white standard version with team numbers, and also the custom team cities and colors that we introduced last year. And if you buy the PDF, you get both versions, or if you buy the printed version, you can choose one or the other. So those are available. Just went live about an hour ago. Working on the 2024 NASCAR set this week. Many thanks to Jerry Minks for doing his usual stellar job. It was a difficult season to rate this year, actually. So there's quite a few wrecks for a number of reasons, but we hashed it all out. Those cards are coming. I was working on the track cards today, and we should have those available in time for the Daytona 500 coming up in mid-February, right after the Super Bowl. And the Scram season will be available as well. And then we'll work on Baseball America and the MLB cards. So lots of stuff happening behind the scenes here at Play HQ. I posted a blog post this week about the live events we're doing. We're doing 4 live events in the first half of 2025. We're going to Dice Tower West. We're going to go to St. Patrick's IndyCon 2025. That's in April in Auburn, Indiana. We're also part of Dave Gardner's Digital to Dice convention in Preston, Connecticut. in May, and then our own convention, Play.con, in June. So Dice Tower in March, and then the other three conventions, all happening before the first half of the year is up. And so we encourage you to join us. We get all the information. There's plenty of links and details about each of these events on our blog post. Just go to the website, play.com, and click the blog link, and you'll see. And hopefully you can join us at one or more of these. I know we got a tremendous group of people showing up at Dice Tower. I think we're up to about 10 people now who are going to join us at Dice Tower West and play, History Maker, golf, and all kinds of different stuff, as well as check out the vast 5,000 title game library at Dice Tower West. All right, so enough about the news. That's what's going on. Again, you can get most of this information on our website, play.com. Let's get back to the sports game antiquities. We're going to start with ABPA saddle racing. Now, let me start by saying that I am not well versed with either of these games. In terms of having played them extensively. I'm like a lot of guys. I'm a sports game junkie in many ways. I just love sports board games. I often will go to Goodwill or Arc Thrift Store and make a beeline for the game section, hoping to find, a sports game there. And rarely, it seems more and more rarely, but occasionally I still do. And there was a time when I could find them quite frequently. In fact, this the 3M Win, Place, and Show came from a thrift store right down the street from us about maybe 6-7 years ago. A lot of these games are, I'm like a lot of guys in our group. We just like sports games. I like to look at them and figure them out and see how they work. So I haven't played these games extensively, and as I'm explaining them, I'm sure I'll make mistakes. Just FYI. So with that in mind, we're not going to do an extensive playthrough of either of these games tonight. We're just going to kind of do sort of an unboxing so you can see what the games look like. We'll talk about the components. We will do a quick overview of the rules and run a couple of sample sequences just so you can get a feel for how the game works. But as far as extensive playthrough, that's not going to happen tonight. So with that in mind, let's get started. Let's go to the game table, the table cam. I think this is probably well-centered here. Yep. And we'll open this up. Oh, there's Millie. She just came down here. She likes to be part of the stream activity. So here's the box. This game, by the way, came to me from Bruce Scott in Sterling, Colorado. I think he sent it to me about 10 years ago. And 10 years, and I've never actually played a full race with it, but I do like looking at it, and it's has a lot of fond memories. I remember, because I was, as many of you know, I kind of cut my teeth in the sports game hobby as a teenager playing ABPA football and then ABPA baseball. And of course, I would get this literature sent to me from ABPA saying, you should try the saddle racing game. So I tucked my copy of the brochure in this game. This didn't come with the game, but don't you just love the ABPA brochures? I mean, they're fantastic, aren't they? I remember when I was a kid just poring over these and just reading, just excited just to read about them. They did a great job of communicating how great they were. And so that's the brochure that does not come with the game. That's my own edition. This is the instructions for playing. Nice little booklet. These are charts. It's hard to believe they give you, there must be 50 of these race charts so you can track the race. There's a lot of math involved in this game, as you'll soon see, and that's why you pretty much have to have a chart like this to keep track of all the numbers. And then there's the different roster things. This is the price of the separate game parts. You can get the folding trackboard, which I'll show you. That's the most expensive component, at $9, and then the race action board is $3. The horse markers. I don't think this actually has horse markers. It came with other. I think with the markers were lost over time. But you can see most of these prices are like 50 cents a dollar. This I believe is a 1986 game. This game was produced from, where's my notes? I believe the game was produced from 1970 to 1989. And then they discontinued it. And they released a new card set each year for the horses from that year. So these are the game parts. This is the list of the horses for the 1988 edition. That's this, which is based on the 1986 season. I always wonder why ABPA did that. You'd think it would be the 1987 edition or the 1986 edition, but these cards, it's the 1988 edition based on the 1986 racing year. So I don't know. Go figure. Anyway, that's these cards. This game also comes with a. This particular game has an envelope with the ABPA Hall of Fame horses. There's 28 horses, great horses of all time, including 2 versions of Citation, 2 versions of Man of War. A lot of these horses have two different cards. So that is, and also a list of jockeys. As the box says, I know this is real life horses run real life races in real life track times with real life jockeys. So this is a simulation game. It's real life unfolding on your game table. So these we'll do our sample race with the Hall of Fame horses, but I did want to show you. It looks like at some point they switched to perforated stock. These are perforated cards. The all-time greats are cut cards with rounded corners. So we'll use these for our little sample demonstration. And we got literature. This is the 1986 race results chart. This came with the season, quaintly typewritten. It's got. Let me unfold this for you. So this has got all the major races. This is a big selling point for this season. This is, you would be able to race or rerun the major races of the year with the actual horses and the actual jockeys and all the statistics you need, which is really that's a nice touch to have everything you need right here as part of the game, as part of the season release. Here's the journal. This is race records so you could keep track of your the horses and how they did. Looks like somebody got started on this with, as we all know, we could all relate to this, right? High hopes. I'm going to put all the horses in here, and they're each going to have their own page, but I never actually got around to running any races with them. So, that's classic for us. Here's the one board the game comes with, the one action board. There is This is really what determines how fast the horses move, and it's based on the classic ABPA dice roll method of a colored die and a white die, and you read the colored die first, 11 to 66, and then you have these different indexes. I don't know if you can see that. I'll explain it shortly. Different indexes based on the combination of the strength of the horse and the strength of the jockey. You'll combine those, and it'll tell you whether you're on column 1 through 7. And then there's different charts, different readings for the various portions of the race. And obviously, as the race goes on, the horses begin to tire. So the dice roll that got you 8.9 squares in the first furlong is only going to get you 7.5 in the 17th furlong. So, and there's all these rules for, basically sort of a summary of how do you time the race and the track conditions. There's quite a bit of detail with this game in terms of there's unusual results. There's track conditions do come into play. The jockeys do play a factor. There can be, interference. A horse can stumble. Photo finishes and so on. The other side of this chart is got the odds. This is the part we're not going to spend any time on the gambling part. Both of these games have a betting component to it. The ABPA game sort of treats the betting as sort of it's something maybe you want to do. Here's how you can create odds, but it really doesn't. The focus of the ABPA game is on historical races. And would Secretariat beat Citation? But they do offer the opportunity to create odds and to bet if you want to. It's sort of a minor feature of the game. The main component of the game is the game board, and it's a whopper. It's a big. I don't think it's even going to fit on the camera.
No. Most of the stuff, even the game box, doesn't fit on the camera. So.
Yeah, well, this is from a different era. When. This is the classic big box, These boxes were big and they were heavy, and frankly, they didn't hold up that well. I don't know that they were. It was thought that they would be around 50 years later because they're sort of relatively thin, based on the amount of weight that they are asked to carry. So, like my football boxes are in horrible shape. This box is not too bad, although it has been taped together. They tend to split let me see this. The sides tend to split, and it's really just not meant to hold this kind of weight. But nonetheless, they're really nice components and very big, very big. So this obviously doesn't fit on the whole game cam. Is it? I'm going to guess that this is probably about centered, something like that. That's pretty close. All right. So those are the components. You put this all aside. I'll run a quick race here. Now, again, I'm not particularly well versed in this game, but I do think I have a working knowledge of how it works, having played a lot of ABPA in the other sports. We'll do 3 horses: a red, white, and a blue horse. We'll start here. We'll just run a couple of turns, a couple of furlongs. There's our 3 tokens. Here's our dice. These are not the actual ABPA dice. Oh, here, we do have the ABPA dice, don't we? Those are in here. These are the classic ABPA dice that come with. If I can get it out of here, let's use those because we do have the dice shaker as well. Ah, yes, the sound of ABPA. Very good. Okay. So we'll choose 3 horses here. We'll just put them in the center here. We'll do Kelso, Citation, and Secretariat. And those should be visible on screen. So it's really simply a matter of, these are all great horses, so they're all going to be index 1 on the game board. We're not going to be able to actually have the game board on camera, though, because it's just too big. It takes up too much real estate. I'll have to kind of, I have it here. I'm going to set it off to the side and read from it. So it's the standard ABPA methodology where you will roll the dice, you'll read the number on the card, you'll check the index, you'll check that number on an index. The same number with a poor horse and jockey will not generate the same kind of result as with a great horse and a great jockey. There's, as I said, 7 different indexes. And the way it works is the chart readings. Let me get the chart back on camera again, if you can see this. I think you can see this. See all these different numbers here. They're in fractions. 8.7, 8.3. So the first part of the fraction, I don't know what you call that. Not the tenths, the whole number. That's the number of spaces that the result will take you on the game board. But there are fractional spaces that can be sort of accrued, and you can use them later in the race. So let's say you get 8.5, a result of 8.5 spaces in the first furlong. You could move 8. You would move 8 spaces, and you would bank a half space. And so let's say the next furlong you got 8.7. So now you've got you could take that 0.7 and bank it with the 0.5, and it gives you an extra one. So now you've got a 9.2. So you're gonna have 9 spaces, and you'll carry over 2. So that's what, like I said, it requires quite a bit of math, and that's where those score sheets come in. We'll just kind of wing it by memory here, just so you can see what how it works. We'll do maybe 2 turns, so we won't have to really track the math. So Kelso will be red, Citation's white, and Secretariat is blue. So we'll start with Kelso. And roll a 41, that's going to be a 13. So we're going to look up 13, and all these are going to be index 1 with a great. We'll assume they have a great veteran jockey and also they're also all-time great horses. So 41 on Kelso is a 13, and we look at 13 on the race action board. It says there's going to be 8.3 spaces. So we're going to move 8.3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You cannot move diagonally in ABPA saddle racing. as opposed to 3M racing where you can move diagonally. So it's a rules distinction that they mention many times. If I wanted to go, of course he's in the inside lane, but if I wanted to move out of lane, I'd have to use a space. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I'll go ahead and do that. So Kelso goes 8 and has 0.2 left over. Here's Citation with a 26, and that is going to be a 26. So Citation, so they rated the horses apparently similar to the way they used to do kickers and punters in the ABPA football game, where if a guy was a kicker, he would get odd single-digit numbers as his good numbers. Like a 1 was great, a 9 was a good field goal, a 7 was a good field goal, but it was a terrible punt. Punters would get the even numbers. So a 4 was a really good punt, but a 5 was a really bad punt. But for guys that could do both punting and kicking, they would use the teens. So a 17 or an 18 or a 19, those would be good numbers whether you were punting or kicking. They did the same thing with the horse racing game. So some of these horses, I'm not sure exactly what the distinction is. I think it has to do with track conditions. So Kelso has got like 1s on 66 and 11, whereas Citation has 22s. But you can rest assured that a 22 is as good as a 1. Anyway, so we've got a 26 for Citation. And that will mean, in fact, that's going to be 9.1. He's going to get 9.1 spaces. So that will put him right up here. And he'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he's got one extra one. So he's a little bit ahead, and he's got 0.1 left over. I should probably be writing this down. I think I got 0.2, 0.1. And here's Secretariat. 22, that's going to be a great number. And doubles are always great in ABPA. So that will be a 2, which will be 9.4. So he will go here and we'll have 0.4 left over. So you can see where those fractions of numbers really add up over the course of a race. Now, if we want to move to a different track, to a different, so we're on these different tracks here around the track. If I want to move to the inside track, because the inside track has fewer spaces, then you have to spend some of your banked some of your moves. It's not a full move. So moving from lanes 2 and 3 to move to 1, you have to spend 0.25 of a move of a square. From 4 and 5, it's 0.2, and all the way out to here, it's only 0.1, only a tenth of a move to move inside. But you do have to spend in order to change your track position. We'll go back to, we'll just do one more turn here. Kelso, 66. Well, that's got to be a 1. That's going to be great. It's going to be 9.4. And he has 2 left over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he would have now 0.6 to his credit. Here's Citation. An 11. The dice are on fire. That's going to be a 22, which is going to be just like a 1, I'm sure. That will be 9.7. And he had, I believe, 0.4, so he should get an extra move here. We should give him 10.1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he would bolt out a little bit, have an advantage here. And then Secretariat, 64, we get a 9, which on this chart would be an 8.7. And he had, I believe he had, I should have written it down, really. I'm going to assume he had 0.3. I think he actually had 0.4. So that would give him 9.1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then he could probably use, if he had point, let's assume he had 0.2 left, he could move one in. All right, so that's where we would stand at the second furlong. Should we do one more? I think you kind of get the idea. That's pretty much how it works. And again, there are what's the word I want? Allowances for track conditions, unusual results, and you'll run this in differing lengths of races as well. You can run, a 6 furlong race, a mile race, a 2-mile race. You can, each of these races are detailed on your race sheet, and it'll tell you how long the race is and who ran it and where they started. So you can recreate this. Now, an actual race, takes a couple minutes. in real time. To do a full race with 8 horses, that's going to take you probably an hour, hour and a half. So the ratio of time consumption versus actual time is not great. But if you but if you love horse racing and you love the idea of seeing these legendary horses in action, it's a pretty good experience, I think. So that is the ABPA saddle racing game, and it's cool. Put it away, and we'll get out 3M. Let you see how that works compared. Any questions? Maybe I should ask questions if there's any questions in the chat room. I don't know. Not that I really would be able to necessarily answer them, but maybe somebody could.
The only question so far is, when is Play making a horse racing game?
Yeah, when is Play me? So if I ever do another sports game, I feel like we kind of run the gamut on sports games. But if I ever do, that would be the one game that I might make, and it would most likely be using the red, white, and blue racing model. And it would probably have a strong betting. It would have more of a emphasis on betting, I think, than the ABPA game does. As you'll see, though, the 3M game is all about betting. So if I were to make a horse racing game, it probably would fall in the middle. I remember when this has to have been about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. We were talking about, this is before the basketball game came out. We were talking about what's going to be the next Play game, and horse racing was in the mix. And I remember making the comment that the horse racing game that I would make would be I don't want to say like a heavy emphasis, but it would have a meaningful betting component to it, because that's where I think the fun is. And I remember getting some emails from people saying, "Well, I have no interest in a game like that. I want to just do historical races with historical horses." And that's fine. I mean, this game is great for that. But my game probably would not. I can only imagine the amount of research that is required to really accurately portray these horses. It's mind-boggling. So for me, I think it'd be more fun. To me, it's the drama of the race and making wise wagers. So any horse racing game that I would make would probably be, along those lines. It'd probably fall somewhere in between these two games. It would have we would have historical horses. They probably wouldn't be rated to the same kind of depth that some horse racing games do, but it would also have an important wagering component as well. All right, win, place, and show. Let's take a look at this. This game I did get at Goodwill, and was one of my many purchases. I was thinking, we should do like a segment where people can talk about their thrift store sports game finds. I think everybody in the chat room right now has probably gone to a thrift store and found a sports game, and just been thrilled with the purchase. And this was one of them for me. I've gotten several actually, but this is I got the golf game, the 3M golf game, also at a thrift store, and a number of others. So that would make another stream another time. But I think that would be a fun stream. Sports game thrift store treasures. Okay, so this is the box. This is the hallmark of the 3M games. They were of course 3M was Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. It's like, why are they making games? It doesn't really, but they did. They had this games arm of their company, and it was very high quality, very high quality. These are like laminated boards. All their sports games, they had a number of sports games, and all of them came in this same sort of a format where you'd have the box with a nice embossed, logo on it. And it would fold over like this, and there's a snap on the side, and it would store like this. So your main board would be part of the container. Really a nice package. So this is the game board. These are the components. We'll do a walkthrough of all the components, and they're very nice. So the emphasis on this game, these are all fictional horses. There are no real horses in this. The emphasis on this game is in building your stable with prudent decisions, Sometimes the better horses are not necessarily the best money winners. So you want to prudently build your stable and then wager appropriately. There are also provisions in this game to essentially bet against your horse, and try to make money or get other people to lose money. And that's where these foul claim you can file a foul if you feel like somebody's doing that. There's a whole procedure in the instructions as to how to resolve disputes. So there's several layers to this game. The first layer is in acquiring your stable. Then you run the races, and within the races, there's drama in terms of how you deploy your horse and how you can sort of thwart your opponents as well. It's very much a game and not a sim. But it does have some neat elements to it that we'll go over. Let me just go over the components. Here's the booklet. The rules booklet is not particularly long. It's fairly straightforward. These are the programs. Everybody gets one of these. This is conveniently also posted. All the information in these programs I'm sorry, wrong side. It's right here. Is also here. But so if you lose these, you've got this information here. But it's a nice touch. Everybody gets one of these programs. 20 cents for the official program. That's a bargain, huh? I wonder what that would cost nowadays if you went to a horse race. And this is the day's program. You've got first race, second race, third race, fourth race, fifth race, sixth race. You got 6 races. There are 6 horses in each race. The horses are listed here. And all the data you need for conducting the race is included right here in this program. It also tells you how long the race is and how much the purse is, and it gives you the jockeys, the listing of the jockey, and also all the odds and bunch of statistics. So it really is very much a real program for the game in terms of understanding how each race is going to potentially unfold. You got play money here, probably more play money than you really need. It looks like this hasn't even been separated, so probably don't need that many 500s. Looks like all the hundreds have been separated, or the thousands. Anyway, this is all the money. Then you've got these little this little pad of wagering cards, so you can make your bets by penciling in which horse you think is going to win and how much you want to wager. There's quite a few of these. There's several of them that have been used that were left with the game. The game came with whoever had this game was running. It looks like they were trying to play it solo. They'd set up their own stable and they were keeping their own stats, but apparently they also played it with other people as well. It looks like this game was enjoyed by whomever owned it before. There are nice little horse tokens, 6 different colors, corresponding with the different colors in the program. We got a couple of dice. These are not the original dice that came with the game. In fact, I don't think the game had dice when I got it. And those are the components. So let's go ahead and show you how it works. If I can recall. So let's go with race number 1. Let me move this out of the way here. Oh, and so there's quite a bit of bet stuff. There's a large emphasis in this game on betting. You can combine bets. You can baseball your bets. There's all kinds of detailed wagering strategies included in the rules. Probably half this rule book is wagering and how to wager, the different kinds of wagers. So this very much the 3M game is very much about wagering. But we aren't even going to delve into that. We're just going to show you how the race works, because that's the part that interests me, and I think probably the part that would interest most people watching this. Surely it would be fun to wager as well, but we won't focus on that for tonight. All right, so let's see. Let me get this positioned so that you can see. So there's all these different start locations. Here's where you start for 6 furlongs. Here's where you start.
Really see that.
Okay, let me like that. So this is depending on how long your race is, you're gonna have a different starting point. If you want to start, if we don't want to do a mile and a quarter race, we're gonna have to start here and flip the board over. We'll just go ahead and do a 6 furlong race. This should be right here. We won't even run 6 furlongs. We'll just line them up here, so you should be able to see this. So the red is first, and it's static order. The red horse is always first. The black horse is next. Then comes the blue horse. Then the green. Then the brown. And then the white. All right, so let me open up the program so you can see. We'll just do the first race. I don't know how well you can really see this. Actually, why don't I just fold it like that? That way it'll lay flat. So we're going to do the first race. So we got Gunsmoke is the red. The red horse is Gunsmoke at 6-1 odds. Rotunda at 4-1 odds. Hold On Harry at 15-1 odds. Lucky Old Sun, 3-2 odds. Obviously the favorite is the green horse. The brown horse, Mustard Seed, 8-1 odds. And 8 Ball is 10-1 odds in the 6th. So you'd make your wagers, and of course you might own these horses, or you might not. You might just be betting on them. Maybe nobody owns them. That's all part of the game. But we're just gonna assume that nobody's owning them. We're just gonna run the race. So you'll roll these 2 dice. There's a green one and a white one. The white one is going to tell you which horse goes first. And I'll say right off the bat, I like the way they do the movement in this. It's kind of elegant. It's not terribly complicated, and there's some depth to it. So the white dice will tell you which of these horses goes first. So if it was a 6, that would mean the white horse would go first. Then you go in order after that. So if it was a 2, you start with the black horse. Then you go blue, green, brown, white, and red until they've all gone. The green die tells you the bonus spaces. So everybody's going to get 4 bonus spaces. If I roll a 42, we would start with the black horse, and every horse would get 4 bonus spaces, and then they're going to move the number of spaces that is listed on their on the race program for the first furlong. So this is a 6 furlong race. So the red horse is going to move 11. His base default movement is 11 spaces for the first. The black is 7. The blue is 11. Green is 9. Brown is 10. White is 7. As you can see, you can see what their patterns are. So the red horse starts out moving 11, but by the 6th furlong, he's only moving 1. So he's fast out of the gate, and then he fades away. You've got Lucky Old Sun, which is very steady, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9. So for horses like Gunsmoke, they're going to try to get a big lead and then hope to get big numbers on the green die for the later stages of the race in order to push them over the finish line. There's also a bonus number, and each has a bonus number. Reds is 11, blacks is 6, blue is 3, and if the total of the dice adds up to that bonus number, they will get 3 extra spaces. So there's 3 factors to consider when you're running a race. Number 1 is the default, the base movement for that portion of the race. The second factor is the bonus spaces indicated on the green die, and then the third factor is, do they have the bonus number? And if so, they get 3 extra spaces. So with that in mind, we'll run a couple of sample turns so you can see how it works. And I like this system. It's as I said, simple, but there's a lot of interesting things that can happen with it. So we'll start here. We're going to start with the 6. The white horse is going to go first, and everybody's going to get 2 spaces added onto their movement. Now, let's see. I guess I should explain. In this game, you can move diagonally. So you can move your spaces any way you want. But you can't move through a horse. So if there's a horse blocking you, you have to go around it, unless you started on a space that has one of these markers, these lines on it. If your move starts on one of those spaces, then you can go through one horse ahead of you. So in other words, let me just do this. So if it was set up like this, and the red horse is on the space with the line on it, I could go through the black horse. Let's say I got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which gives me the opportunity, if I want to on my move, I might want to stop on a space and not use all my moves in order to position myself to be able to do that going forward. So anyway, that's what that means. Obviously, there's more spaces on the outside. You want to be on the inside track, but that is basically it. In this game, so there are two different kinds of jockeys. There's the veteran jockey and the apprentice jockey, and that factors into the horse's performance. The veteran can move up to 2 spaces diagonally either way, and can move back into his original lane. So veterans are able to have more flexibility. The apprentices can only move 1, and they cannot move back. So we're going to say for our demo race that all the jockeys are veterans. So you can move up to 2 spaces, in in this. I'm at a loss for words. You can move 2 spaces in or out, up to 2, and you can also move back if you want to, because we're going to assume that all these in the game. Horse number 5 has an apprentice, and horse number 3 have apprentice riders. So we would have to factor that in, but we're not going to mess with that. Just to show you how this works. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. I guess I already roll up. I'll roll again. We'll start with horse number 5. Everybody gets 3. So we start with the brown horse. He's going to move 10 plus 3, and let's check for the bonus. Does anybody get the bonus? 8. So the brown horse is going to get a 3-space bonus because we did roll his bonus number 8. So he's going to get a total of 10 plus 3 plus 3. He's going to get 16 spaces. So the brown horse is going to be off to a big start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do want to move 2 in. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so then we go to the white horse. So nobody else is going to get a bonus. So it's just a matter of adding their base rating to the green die. So that's going to be 7 plus 3 is 10. 1, 2, 3, let's move in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The red horse is going to get 11 plus 3 is 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The black horse will get 7 plus 3 is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to position him right on that special space. Then the blue horse goes 11 plus 3 is 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And finally, the green horse, which is the favorite, he has 9 plus 3 is 12. And let's go ahead and move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there we are at the end of 1 furlong with the mustard seed from Lazy L Farms in the lead, and we've got the blue and the red horse right behind. All right, let's do another turn here. We'll do 3 turns. We'll do half the race. All right, so now we're going to start with horse number 2, which is the black horse, and everybody's going to get a 6-space bonus, and we rolled an 8 again, which means mustard seed is again going to get the 3 move bonus. So everybody's going to move, and now we're going to check the second box on each horse, starting with number 2, which is the blue horse or the black horse. So the black horse, let's see, black is 7 plus 6 is 13, and good thing we're on one of those special spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Next will be the blue horse, who is going to get, looks like 15. 9 plus 6 is 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the blue horse has got the big lead there, or so it seems. It can be deceptive, though, because not all the other horses have gone yet. Next is the green horse, who's going to get 8 plus 6 is 14. And he's not on a special space, so he's going to have to make a move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll leave him right there. Then the brown horse, which gets the bonus. So it's going to be 10 plus 6 plus 3. That's 19 for the brown horse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we still have the white horse and the red horse. The white horse is going to go, that's the 8 ball, is going to go 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And finally, the red horse, which is 11 plus 6 is 17. But he's going to have some problems because he's on the inside track and he's really, really blocked. So he's probably not going to get that as far as he would like. So this is where you'd have to make your decision what you want to do. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's as best as we can do, I guess. I think that was a legal move. All right, we'll do one more turn. The mustard seed way out front, running away with it, and he does get weaker though as the race goes on. His the fifth furlong, he's only a 3, so it's not in the bag by any stretch. We'll do one more turn. Let me move the board so it's still on the camera here. It should be on the camera now. And I roll an 8 again, so that's very good for the brown horse. So we're going to start with the brown horse again, and everybody gets a bonus of 3. So I think the brown horse is going to be in pretty good shape here. I don't even know if we really need to run all the moves here. He's going to have a big. He's going to probably double this lead over the next horse. But then he's got. For the fourth, he is an 8 and then a 3. So it could, it very well could be that there will be a closer finish than you might think. But as for right now, mustard seed. If you bet on mustard seed, you're in pretty good shape. So that's how this game works, and I like the way it works. I like the mechanics of it. I think you could do some really neat things with to capture the characteristics of a horse, and also have some random elements in it. I do think it would be hard for a really poor horse to win. Hold On Harry, the blue horse, for example, which is 15-1 odds. He's got 11, 9, 9, 8, 2, and then 2, and a bonus number of 5, which is not that likely. So, in my mind, just kind of doing the math, it's like, how is he ever going to win in this field, particularly? I'm not sure that he's really got much of a chance. I think, but probably that's part of the game, is being able to recognize that and to not bet on Hold On Harry, because even if he does great, I mean, even if he gets lucky, I think it's gonna be really tough for him to win. Even though, like for right now, he's in second place. All right, that's our Sports Game Antiquities show for tonight. Thank you a lot for watching. We appreciate it. Next week, I'm not 100% sure of what our stream theme will be. I have several options in mind. We do have a Connect that's coming out. I believe it'll be next week. Might have to go to the week after, but I'm planning on a Connect next week, and if so, we'll tie in the stream to the content in the Connect, either a new release or freebie. So we'll just we'll kind of leave it open for now, and we'll let you know middle of next week what we're going to be doing. Until then, hope you have a great weekend. It's going to get cold here in Colorado, man. So this is classic Colorado weather. It's 61 degrees today, and then Sunday it's minus 16. So we have these wide swings here. Hopefully, where you are, it's maybe a little bit more moderate. But yeah, hope you have a great weekend, and we appreciate you taking some time to watch some sports-themed content with us tonight. Anything we can help with, just let us know. You can email us at info@play.com or just click the contact link at the bottom of any page on the website. Thanks again for watching. We love you. Appreciate you being here. And we'll see you again next time here on the Play Space Live. Bye.